A big rescue mission is underway right now in Fort Gibson as rescue crews stumbled on some cattle in danger of drowning.
News on 6's Brian Dorman is live on Highway 62 with more. Brian?
Craig, Terry, this is really incredible and happening right now. It's about to get really loud. We have more cattle incoming right now. This is the next airboat to be coming in with the delivery of cattle. These are calves that they are finding, and some of these boats have 3, 4, even 5 of them on board. So far, you can see some of them just lying on the highway here. 17 calves have been rescued. The police chief is telling me that there's as many as 60 total out there as emergency crews and volunteers on these airboats continue to pull them out of the high water.
We got the first one out and he was in shock, so we took him to a friend of ours' house, and he's a veterinarian and he's kind of working on him. As we went back out and started looking again, we ended up keep finding more and more cattle.
And I want to show you here, we just got a rig that a volunteer has brought in to take the cattle out of here and take them to a safe place. Many of them are shaking, cold, and in shock. Also want to mention here that the chief telling me the entire town of Fort Gibson continues to remain without power. He tells me there are several people in flooded homes right now that refuse to leave. And of course, that is a big concern here tonight with the water expected to rise at least another 5 feet. Live tonight in Fort Gibson, Brian Dorman, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
Rescue mission continues right now in Fort Gibson as crews stumbled on some cattle in danger of drowning in floodwater. News on 6's Brian Dorman is live on the scene with the latest. Brian?
Craig, they just keep coming. I just checked in with the chief. So far, at least 20 calves have been rescued out here. This, if you could believe it, is Highway 62, which is obviously flooded and closed down here. We're on the Fort Gibson side, earlier on the Muskogee side, and this mission happening right now. There's 3 airboats that are continuing to grab calves out of the water. We're told that there are many as 60 out there. Emergency crews and volunteers on these airboats just keep pulling them out of the water. And I want to show you what's happening over here as well. Chris, if you want to come with me here, we got your eye on the ground, and we also got your eye on the sky thanks to the Cherokee Nation Emergency Management. We have a drone up right above us showing the operation as it's unfolding right now. So pretty cool to be able to see these calves that are being pulled out of the water right now. Both boats are here at the highway. So we're going to keep an eye on this for you as well, but pretty cool to be able to have that vantage point too. There's also, of course, a concern here tonight for people that are still in their homes. The chief telling me there are several people that refuse to leave their flooded homes even without power tonight.
There are some people still in their houses, they refuse to leave, so, you know, unfortunately right now we can't make them leave unless, you know, somebody makes it mandatory, but when they do, then we will, and if they decide they want to come out, we'll go get them.
6 water rescues made here in Fort Gibson today. The chief telling me more than a dozen have been made total here over the past few days. And that is a big concern. Of course, the water expected to go up at least another 5 feet. And these rescue missions like the one with the cattle that continues here right now. This trailer just pulled up, our second trailer, to haul them away. Of course, these missions become much, much more dangerous now that it's nightfall. Live in Fort Gibson, Brian Dorman, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
As a cattle rescue mission is coming to an end in Fort Gibson, we're learning within the past 15 minutes important information about the town's power supply. For an update on both, let's go live to News on 6's Brian Dorman. Brian?
Oh, there's a lot happening in Fort Gibson tonight, and I want to get to that new information because we're just learning that OG&E workers right now are on airboats. I want to draw your attention to this big screen here. These are the airboats right now. They're at the electrical substation. We got this shot thanks to Cherokee Nation's Emergency Management. They have a drone up right now over that electrical substation. To get there, they had to cut a wire fence in half just to get those airboats through. What they're doing right now that you're watching live on the screen is installing a part that will allow their temporary substation that's in place to work by this time tomorrow.
This is step one to getting power back, and they're doing everything they can to try to get it back, and hopefully we'll have it back before this time tomorrow night.
And of course, that is great news tonight. More great news from Fort Gibson. More than 20 calves have been rescued so far from the high water and loaded up onto trailers where they will be treated for shock tonight. One of those trailers, one's already left. The other one is right here, getting ready to leave here as well. There's one crew out there still looking for any calves that still remain out there in the high water. It's also scary to think that there are folks in their homes tonight, again, without power and in flooded homes with the water continuing to rise, expected to go up another 5 feet, refusing to leave their homes tonight. The chief telling me that they simply told the rescue crews they just don't want to leave. Live tonight in Fort Gibson, Brian Dorman, Oklahoma's own News on 6.